If I were to say to you I've had a brief look at the government's new universal credit system and it makes a lot of sense, are you going to go and switch off and watch something else instead? Just hang on a minute. If I've made that statement about the universal credit from the government being a good thing perhaps, I don't know whether it's a good thing or not. I've not really studied it that much. But if you agree that it might be a good thing, you're more likely to stay and watch this video. If you disagree that it's going to be a bad thing, you're more likely to switch off, go away, find another video, do something else, because it doesn't agree with your beliefs. And that's the point that I'm trying to make here. We tend to watch programs that reinforce our beliefs, and we tend to avoid programs or videos or newspapers or whatever that disagree with our beliefs. Take myself for an example. I live in the northwest. It's not a wealthy area that I live in, and it's not particularly upmarket. So most of my friends and most of the people I know tend to be slightly left-wing. I'm quite sure that they would tell me that the current Tory government are bad, doing bad things to the economy and making the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. But I'm quite sure I could equally go to a nice pub in a part of Cheshire or somewhere like that and find people who are saying how good the government is and how they're sorting things out and how much they're improving it. Our circumstances and our situation and the people that we're around with tend to affect our influences, and perhaps affect the way we vote. And what we watch and what we read and what we listen to. There's other times when this happens as well. It might not just be political. My girlfriend Sharon is spiritual, and I'm very muchly not. I'm quite the scientist. I believe when you're dead, you're dead. And Sharon, while she doesn't follow a traditional religion at all, is quite a believer in the notion of ghosts and other worlds and spirits and stuff like that. Now when I see something about the spiritual world, I'll tend to skim through it, pass it over, and I don't want to listen to people talk about things that I don't believe in. I think they're just delusional, obviously. I'm much more of a scientist, so my YouTube feed is filled with science and technology and engines and stuff like that. And I'm quite sure Sharon's the other way. She'd be much more interested in the spiritual side of things, much more open to the ideas of things beyond that which science can prove, and that's fine. But the problem is you end up with polarisation between groups, be they political, be they spiritual, or be they in favour of hunting or not hunting, and so on and so forth. And because we listen to our friends, and then because we choose what we want to watch or read or listen to, we reinforce those beliefs, and we never give a chance for other ideas and other possibilities to come in. And that's why I suppose you could argue that's even the grounds of fundamentalism, which is such a problem in the world at the moment. How do we open our mind to other possibilities? How do we let that information in? Because one of the things with the internet now is everything is choice. Back before the internet, you had to watch the news on the television. Now allegedly the news in the UK on television is supposed to be unbiased. There are plenty of arguments for and against that being true. But now with the internet we choose our news feeds. If I want to choose a left-wing newsfeed, I can do. If I want to choose a right-wing newsfeed, I can do. And as such, I may not ever learn that there is another point of view to that. And what can we do to resolve this? I don't actually have an answer, because the freedom to choose is a very important thing to the Western sensibilities. I wouldn't want an authority to tell me what programmes I must watch to remain broadly educated. I suppose the key really is to try and educate people that there are two points of view. Maybe my mind is completely closed to the idea of the spiritual world, and I ignore those spiritual things that might be right there in front of me. Maybe I should try at least to listen, to at least to try and understand. And the same goes with my political beliefs. I'm fairly middle of the road actually in my political beliefs. But there's still plenty of other points of view out there that I've probably not come across. I think the point I'm trying to make to myself at least is to maybe not turn off that programme if it doesn't agree with what I think. Maybe to try and listen to other people's point of view. I never thought of myself as being closed-minded, but in some ways maybe I am. Anyway, that's my thinking on the matter for the moment.